everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Mobile Security Talk. Together with me today, Ben Witt. Hi, Ben.
Hi, nice to meet you.
So, Ben, why don't you go ahead and quickly introduce yourselves to the audience?
Yeah, my name is Ben Witt from Germany. I was for nearly 14 years a soldier in the electronic warfare. And after that, I've decided to work in the IT security sector. And that's why I'm a senior consultant for mobility solutions and for the GFI in Germany. And I'm also a blogger. I'm blogging about mobile security and especially about Android Enterprise. And also, on technik.community, you can also see an Android Enterprise compendium with all necessary information.
Cool. And tell me a little bit, what has attracted you from your background working in security to the mobile space?
I think our not only the economy, the whole life is more mobilized today, and it's getting faster and faster, and you have to work very close from the point you get or you got an information and you want to work with it and to deliver it to your customers, colleagues also. That's why I think a smartphone today is the #1 work device for everyone, in a private way and also in a business way. You're managing your contacts, your calendar, your mails. And on the business side, you have your customer relation management is on your device when you are somewhere else from one appointment from a customer to another appointment. And it's very effective because you can sit in your train or in your plane or and can work. You can work, but the information on the device itself, so data addressed, and also the communication with your infrastructure on premise or cloud should be or has to be secured. So that's why I wanted to work in this segment, and that's why I'm now already working in this.
So what you're highlighting is absolutely correct. I mean, now you're starting to get, the cool thing about phones more and more now that companies are also bringing more and more data, more and more applications to the phone, it really empowers the employee to work from wherever they want in a very flexible way. And the other cool thing is that you really get this kind of actionable data wherever you are. And I think this is a huge efficiency factor for companies. On the other hand, just like you were saying, the mobile security aspect of it is far away from trivial, because you do have a highly mobile device that travels a lot, can be in all possible locations, and you still need to be able to make it somehow secure, right? It used to be very easy to secure data with a desktop infrastructure because when you close down the office, you knew that data wouldn't leave it, in theory, right? Because people also had CDs, people also had USB sticks, and so on and so forth. And there are a couple of stories like major leakage of data from Swiss banks that showed us that this kind of physical security was also not perfect. But we're not going there now. With mobile, of course, you have way more options, and you ultimately also need to make sure that this is really secured in both the data that is at rest, but also the data that is in transit. Yeah. And one of those ways you were mentioning is probably also having a mobile device management application installed that where you're an expert in. Are there other things that people should consider?
Oh, there are a lot of things. So I would like to compare a mobile device with a classic laptop or desktop system. So on Windows and Mac OS, it's not so easy to manage updates and data at rest encryption, and also the connection to your infrastructure. On a mobile device, it's very easy. You just need a mobile device management system. You can then separate your work data from your private data. So BYOD, bring your own device, or COPI, corporated owned private enabled devices there's no issue with that, or it's really easy to enable the devices for that. And then, for example, on iOS and Android, you automatically have the encryption for the work data. It's a separate encryption, and it's separated from the private data if you have both on one device. And also, so we have the data address and the data in transition. It's very easy. Most of the mobile device management OEMs have an own app container with an own secure connection to your infrastructure, or you have deployed in VPN, virtual private network. And there's another solution. You can also use remote desktop via VPN, but it's a little bit tricky. There are other solutions, like, for example, Avingu. You have an HTML stream of your virtual desktop, and that's really cool. So you know, okay, my device, my smartphone is able to show YouTube in the Chrome browser, so it would also be able to use Avingu to stream my virtual desktop. And that's, yeah. So, and the next thing is conditional access. With mobile device management, you have really, well, it's really easy to say, okay, only devices that are in the administrator's hands, like for BYOD devices, only the work profile. For corporated device, the whole device. It's under the management of the administration, and only these devices are able or are allowed to get the information from my infrastructure. So yeah, you have then the conditional access, and also there's new way or new options that are now getting into the market. We have the MTD, mobile threat detection, EDR. The next thing is XDR with zero trust. That means you don't trust any person, any user, any device, and you have to challenge all the devices, the users, the connections, the behaviors on the device, in the network, all the time. And if there's one point that's getting the score, your trust score down, then for example, the user have to type in their password, for example, in the first step. Is it the password wrong for the third time, for example, then the whole device would be deactivated to get your data secure.
Yeah. I see. So what you're basically saying is that there are a lot of ways how to secure these devices. I get that. Do you believe that a managed mobile device is more secure than a laptop or a laptop or desktop operating system?
It's easier to get the whole device secured, from my humble opinion, because as I said, on macOS and Windows, there are so many points and so many systems you have to get managed. with a mobile device is much more easier from my perspective, because you have only to use actual devices with an actual MDM device, activate them in the way you want, BYOD or COPI or COBO or COSU as a single use, like a kiosk device. It's much more easier.
Yeah.
And with, for example, Samsung and Huawei, you are getting a desktop experience on your device, but yeah, Huawei is out of market because of the Google ban. Next week, the Harmony OS will be launched. Yeah, it is an Android fork, but I don't think that any MDM OEM will implement the UI core services into their MDM. I don't believe it.
If you are targeting the Chinese market, which can be quite interesting, then probably I think Huawei will be a very interesting platform to target. But as you're saying, it's yeah, since the Google ban, it's been very difficult with those devices.
Yeah, yeah, and because of it's not allowed to use a VPN in China, or you can use a VPN, but the VPN has to connect from the device into China, so the endpoint has to be in China. So yeah, it's very difficult for them to get their solution implemented in an MDM OEM which is international on the market.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, having managed devices in China in general is I believe quite difficult, especially also for non-Huawei devices.
Yeah.
But yes. So when you see breaches, security breaches on mobile devices with your customers, what are those kind of breaches usually? How can you, yeah, what are the most common attacks that you see?
So most of the time we don't see breaches because we are good in our job. No, but yeah, so from my perspective, really the number one breach factor is the user itself. And I don't mean that the user wants to get their information leaked. Sometimes it's not all users are very fit in mobile devices or getting an email in the correct way, or they add all recipients of an email into CC and not BCC. So yeah, that's why I say, okay, the user is number one. Number two is the wrong implementation of IT policies or general policies. So the customer is not forcing updates, for example. So sometimes we know, okay, on iOS and Android there are security issues that are effectively or actively being used by hacker groups, and but for this you can use your MDM or in Furhtermore firmware over the air system and enforce these updates. Yeah.
So basically, with the MDM, you can define granularly which devices need to update at which time, right?
Yeah, it depends on the MDM and on your smartphones, for example, that you're using. Samsung has their own eFuta system, which is working very well. But so, for example, the next thing is, it's a little bit like the point one, the user. But for example, you're sitting in a cafe, you have your smartphone, you have opened your work email client, and then someone is stealing your phone. The device is unlocked. the mail client is open, so he could probably easily search for information or send everything to himself or so. So for example, there are new solutions, they like BlackBerry Protect as an example, because I know this solution. They are monitoring the user. The app or the service is learning about the user, how he holds the smartphone, how he is swiping, where is he. For example, I'm 4 weeks at 8 o'clock at my home office, and then I'm at the airport, for example. Then the device, okay, I have to do something here that's not normal. I want a challenge. I want challenge to user, hey, give me your password or your fingerprint, or a challenge to the MDM agent. Is the device still activated against your system, for example? So, yeah.
And I mean, this is also, by the way, exactly what the Hypergate Smart Access allows you to do, define those kind of rules for when you want to challenge the user, because one thing that is pretty cool about these mobile devices is that there is a ton of context information, right?
Yeah.
And this goes as far as knowing what kind of activity a certain user is doing. Is he in a vehicle? Is he on a bicycle? Is she walking? Is she running? Is she still? All these kind of things, this context can actually be used then to apply certain rules to define also certain set of security. Do you believe that these devices, looking at Samsung DeX that you were mentioning before, do you believe that these devices have the potential to entirely replace a desktop or laptop?
Absolutely. I think right in the moment we have some, I don't want to harm anybody, but I think we have the classic IT administration right now in the IT compartments, and also the C-level. They are classically built into the IT infrastructure. But I think in near future we will see, because it is so easy and you have a desktop experience with your Samsung devices, and it's cheaper. So the smartphone, for example, a Samsung device, Enterprise Edition, getting 5 years of support, and also the security updates and 3 major release updates. So it's much cheaper, calculated on the same time as a laptop. And it's much easier to get the management on this. Yeah, you just need a monitor, mouse and keyboard, or your private PC and getting wireless DeX, or with an app. So you can simultaneously load or power up the device on your PC, because it is so easy and it's management and it is cost effectively. I think, yes, we will see more smartphone devices as a laptop or desktop PC in the future. Of course, yeah. It's,
you know, I have the actual same impression of this. I think this is the next step, and I also think that together with this separation of the two profiles, it's actually what people want. They want to have one device, but they want to have the control to shut down whatever that is related to the company. And if you are then capable of having a full-fledged screen and everything, as soon as you plug it in, I really believe that this is the future. And of course, it's more cost effective. It has a higher level of security because the operating system is by design a more secure operating system compared to any desktop or laptop operating system. And I agree on that side a lot. So what do you think, when will Apple come with such a desktop experience and tell the world that they're the first to do so.
So the one half of me is saying, okay, Apple won't be releasing any desktop experience for their iPad and their iPhone because they won't do it because they want to sell more devices, because they are manufacturing the devices and the OS, and it's all in one hand, and they need to sell more devices because they are saying by themselves, we are not selling your user private data. The other half of me said, okay, it would be very cool if we had the desktop experience on both sides, on iOS and Android, because then it would be given more drive into this desktop experience on mobile devices. Because I think Apple is yeah, they can drive new ways of working or living with these devices. But yeah, nee. No.
You don't believe that they will come. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, I think Samsung is definitely moving in the right direction, showing a lot of innovation. And at some point when Apple is going to lose, they certainly will start to wake up with this as well, I think.
For example, the Samsung, I think they have much more opportunities because they are in more market segments. For example, last week or 2 weeks ago, they have introduced new monitors, smart monitors. It's really cool. You only need this monitor with a keyboard and mouse and can natively run Microsoft Office 365 apps on it. So you even don't need any device. But for this case, I highly recommended the Intune app protection profiles, that the users are not able to copy everything or to print everything on every device. So there is still a management. It's not on the device, it's on the user. And because it's on the user, it's in every Microsoft Office 365 app. But these monitors are really cool because they have so much connectors, and you easily can connect your Samsung Android smartphone to it, and you have your fully desktop experience. And the Samsung experience is really good. It's really near to a Windows PC in the behavior with keyboard and mouse, for example, and the start menu and everything. And yeah, you have a desktop. You have only one device. It's like a desktop on the monitor, but you can also get a call with it, or handle a call, or call your colleague or your mother, and yeah, with only one device. That's yeah.
No, I think that this will definitely come. Also, the calling is a feature that was already on Apple devices before, that you could basically pick up wherever you wanted as soon as your iCloud account was the same. So even though someone was calling on your phone, you could pick up on the MacBook or on the iPad.
But you are totally have to be in the Apple universe.
Yes, you have to be 100% in the Apple universe, which speaks again for your things, for your arguments that you were mentioning before. They actually want you to be 100% bought into this ecosystem. And yeah, so I think people want to go into that direction. I think now they have, not everybody knows that there is a full desktop PC in their pocket. And the companies will be the first that need to move here, because they can save a lot of money in both the security expenditures and as well hardware and software on that. So I think this will definitely happen. Perfect. I think that this was a very interesting chat. Are there any other things that you would like to say before we say goodbye to the audience.
Yeah, everything or everybody can have a look on LinkedIn and Twitter and get in contact with me, or on technik.community. I would like to get also your feedback. If you have any, just drop me a mail or personal message. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Ben Witt. This was a very interesting chat, and I hope to see you soon in person again, and as well some of you of this audience. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Take care.
Thank everybody. Thank you.